where there's sure to be droppings and honkings all over the field. We're here in Champaign, Illinois, Geese Memorial Stadium. We will find out a whole lot more about these teams as Week 1 showdown here on EA Sports College Football. It's the TCU Horned Frogs and the Illinois Fighting Illini. Reese Davis, David Pollock, and Jesse Palmer with you, and Holly Rowe joins from the sideline with an injury report.
I caught up with the Horned Frogs head coach before the game. Coach said because they are still without their starting quarterback, this has been essential to have a bye week this week. Give their backup all of the reps with the #1 offense, something he typically doesn't do all season long. So they have really focused on more reps, more reads, so he can really hit the ground running here today early in this game. Back to you.
Holly, keep an eye on that one for us. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Offense in a bunch formation. Movement from the linebackers trying to mess with the offensive line's assignments. Picked up maybe 3 on the play at 2nd and 7. All right, guys, let's chat about Illinois. They start the season in the top 10. Ideal position to make a run. But what do they need to avoid?
Well, I think you avoid the talks about me and where we're at, because that doesn't matter. This team's got a lot to prove. It's a very talented team, but they got to start the season off fast. That first impression makes a big deal in all these voters, Jesse.
Yeah, I think a lot of these players are hungry to prove that top 10 ranking is legit. But talking to some of their guys too, David, they actually feel like they're not ranked high enough. They actually feel disrespected being where they are, which is pretty amazing considering this is already a really great jumping point. I can't wait to see how they play today.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Ball's at the 29. Defense can taste getting off the field. It's 3rd and long. Picked off, and the opening drive is stopped with an interception. That was not on the opening script of plays. The turnover as the defense makes a play early.
You know, after watching that interception, I just wonder if this kid's too amped up tonight. He was so excited to take the field. He thought this was going to be a game that he could stat it up, but he's going to have to do a better job tonight with his decision-making. That is not how you want to start a game.
Selling the run, but he wants to throw it. Rolls right. Strong pass rush, gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46.
Man, that is exactly the opposite of what this offense talked about. They talked about staying ahead of the chains with us in meetings and making sure they stay on schedule. In the first play, not very good protection, a big loss, and now immediately, Palmer, in a predictable passing situation.
That is such a gut punch for the offense, especially the play caller. Because you know it, David, he's already scripted the first 10 plays. They've been practicing those all week long. You take a sack on the opening play, it completely blows up your script. That's a great job by the defense, sending a very clear message. You got to block us, and right now you can't do it.
Now this offense tries to figure out a way to move the chains after the 2nd down misfire. On 3rd and long, no secret what he needs here. Out wide left, it's Payne. He's not going to get there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down decision.
And sometimes when you hand it to these guys, man, it's hard to find lanes. It's very congested in the box. But nice job when you spread it out and you give him space by throwing him the football. Sometimes he can use that blazing speed and make bigger plays. I look for them to continue to find ways to get that fast dude in space.
Plowing ahead on 4th down. He will be stopped short of the line to gain, and they'll turn it over on downs.
Man, what a job keeping your eyes on your key. It's so easy sometimes when they run those RPOs to get a little bit lost with your eyes, to come up, play the run. Nice job seeing the ball thrown. He's got his guy, makes the tackle, and gets the big fourth down stop.
Here comes the Illini offense back onto the field. Takes a handoff. It's Valentine. Crosses the 30 to the 31, a 6-yard gain. Let's talk for a second about Illinois. The portal can work wonders if you have specific holes to fill. Breathe a little new life and energy into the program. David, these guys went in there, got a nice little haul that really could set them up for success this season.
They did, and they didn't go bonkers and go crazy, Jesse. I like how they just saw a couple guys that they thought fit their system, fit their culture, and now they're bringing them in so they can rise the tide of this team.
Yeah, this feels like a curated roster, right? They only had a few holes that they had to fill up, but they went out, they put their effort into finding the right guy. They feel like they've upgraded their roster with just a few portal additions.
Faced with a 3rd and short from their own 32 to keep this drive alive. Now on the move. He was fighting and struggling his way, trying to get that first down. Instead, they'll be faced with 4th.
Well, they try to go quarterback design run on that play, but the defense just not buying it. Nice job, everybody playing downhill and making a tackle close to the line of scrimmage.
Hold on a minute. The offense still out there going for it in their own territory. Snapped on 4th down. He's got enough, and they roll the dice on 4th down, and they keep the drive alive. The definition of 4-down territory has changed over the last few years. It extended into their own territory there.
Anywhere, everywhere, just look at the card, right? That card's supposed to tell us what to do, but maybe I'll go for it anyways. This offense took a little bit of a gamble, but they get the first down. Nothing to worry about, Reese.
On the RPO, got it. That's his first catch of the season, and they believe he is a freshman who can contribute a lot early.
He was not fooled on that one. You know, a lot of times you want to buy space, and you throw this route really when it's off coverage, but you could tell the cornerback was up, ready to come, pounce on that screen, and get the tackle for a loss.
The Illini just added to its workload after that last play. It's 2nd and long. Taylor wants to throw it. Unloads to the wideout. Got him downfield. Couldn't ask for much more there. A first down, and they're down to the 42.
And the fan bases in the South, they're pretty crazy. They're pretty psychotic. They follow recruiting. They follow the transfer portal. And they've been following this cat right here. Like, big-time receiver, joining this league, joining your team. Expectations, Palmer, they're high. And you see why on that play. Dude's got some skill.
Yeah, he's big time, man. Listen, I'm not going to say this guy was flying under the radar before, but now he's going to become a household name playing wide receiver in the SEC. This is a conference that not only pumps guys into the NFL, people win Heisman trophies playing wide receiver in this conference, and this team thinks this guy's got an opportunity to be there in New York at the end of the year.
Illinois picked up the first down. Now here they come again. And he won't quite get there, but boy, after that pickup, just a few inches to go for the first. An array of possibilities here.
Well, in that down and distance, you're probably expecting them to throw it way down the field to get the first. Instead, they go push pass, and they did catch the defense off guard. And even though that was a big explosive play, David, they still didn't have enough yards to get it.
Well, and catch me off guard is relative. That's what you would say, the offensive player. I would say, listen, we're playing a little bit deeper because we're not going to give up the first down. We react to the short stuff, and obviously that's a quick, easy pass from the offense. Rally up, make the play, live to fight another down. That was a nice grab by the tight end. Didn't get many yards, wasn't real open, but at least make the catch, at least get a little positivity on the play.
Fighting Illini move the sticks through the air. Let's see if they go back to it on first down. Going to the run, it's Valentine. They get him stopped after a 2-yard gain. Ball is at the 17.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. Taylor wants to throw. Finds us back in the middle. That completion will take it inside the 4, and the offense is threatening.
You know, games have ebbs and flows to them, and good things happen and bad things happen, but everything is going this offense's way on this drive. This thing has been textbook. Really nice cadence by the play caller. He's mixing in different looks, keeping this defense on their heels. They have just matriculated the football down the field in control, and now they're in the red zone. This offensive drive has been really impressive.
Making the adjustment. What a job up front, and he'll lose a yard on that one.
That back had nowhere to go. The defensive line ate up the blocks, but how about the linebacker swarming in, coming in and making a great play on the ball carrier?
They lost ground on 1st down. Now 2nd and goal from the 5. He'll take it himself. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Illinois!
This is like having an extra running back in your backfield. This quarterback is magic. When he decides to keep the football, he can make people look absolutely silly. He shows you on that play.
And they did tack on that extra point without any adventure. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. They're going to test that run defense to the right here. Breaks into the open. And he was loose and not stopped until he gets to the 47-yard line. And the Horned Frogs, after exploding for that huge run, back to work. That's the end of the period. It's Illinois with the lead. 1 period in the books, and let's take a look at the stats.
Illinois 7, TCU 0.
So 1st down here as they go back to work. They'll call a timeout. Play clock running short. It was down to 5 before the stoppage. And they'll have 2 left to work with here in the 1st half. From the 47-yard line on 1st and 10. They'll move the tight end. Fights off a defender. Got a little grass. He's at the 20. Into the end zone. Touchdown, TCU. Looking for the tie with the extra point. And the extra point is good. What a display of explosive capabilities on that drive. 75 yards, 2 plays, and a touchdown. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Illinois will get things going as the offense comes out onto the field. Took the last drive in for a touchdown. They'll try to do it again on this one. Finds a crease. It's Valentine. Runs through the tackle. Crosses the 30 to the 31 and a 6-yard pickup.
And I like the thought process on offense here early in this game. They're giving their bell cow the ball early and often. There are a lot of coaches that outthink themselves, and they think, you know, we're going to throw the ball to set up the run instead because everybody on defense knows our guy is the focal point. But this offense is just keeping it simple. Let's just give our best player the football early in this game, and let's just get him into a rhythm.
They'll run him again. Slams ahead for a yard out to the 33.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. But how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
It'll be 3rd and short from their own 33. Using his feet. Oh, he's got some space. Such a big part to convert these 3rd downs, and they've got it at the 42.
And as a defensive guy, man, when you play a QB like this that will take off and run and has the speed to make you pay, it just limits what you can do. It limits the amount of coverages. It just makes you play a lot more hesitant. And you can see right there, man, the guy's got speed. Interested to see how this defense continues to attack this QB.
They didn't get a push at all on that one. It'll be no gain on the play.
A lot of times you see these defenses, man, they pull the run blitzes. They understand the formations. It might be a run, play the percentages, and then you got to deal with the big defensive tackle inside. So more bodies near the line of scrimmage. Everybody's got to pick him up, but they didn't block the most important guy, the big fella right in the middle.
Taylor wants to throw it. Out wide right, it's Valentine. He puts him in business across the 50 into the 46-yard line. It'll be 1st down.
Running backs are wide receivers. They do such a great job nowadays out of the backfield. All you got to do, dump it to him. Get it to him quick, and he'll make the rest happen with his running back skills. But they do so much work with wide receivers in practice that they basically have become wide receivers now.
Hit and drop behind the line. He'll lose a yard.
Well, this defense knew coming into this one, if it could stop the run, it was going to be really, really hard on the offense. And I just love the tenacity they're playing with right now. This front 7 are flying around, getting to the ball carrier. This running back has had nowhere to go today.
Lost 1 on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Takes a snap, wants to throw. Quickly complete. Makes the grab, down immediately. He picks up a few.
Well, you can tell those two have been practicing the out route all off season long. They look like they could have completed that in their sleep.
The Fighting Illini facing a 3rd and long to keep this drive alive. TCU calls its 2nd timeout. They're down to 1 timeout left in the half. Ton of ground to cover here on 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws to the wideout. Big hit, knocks the ball away, and it'll force him into a 4th down.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. And the critical down and distances in this game, like that 3rd down right there, when it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You got to be able to make that play.
Perhaps emboldened by converting a 4th down earlier in the game, they'll try a 2nd time. Snapped it, and he has to have it. Fires to the wideout. Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum. Was looking for a little more daylight for a big return, but he'll settle for the pick and setting his offense up at the 24.
And he makes another momentum-building play. His 2nd interception in the first half. He can feel where the football's going. Got a good beat on this offense and making plays early and often for his club.
Looking for a man. It's John. Moving out to the right. And he will wisely throw it to the kid playing the tuba.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
They'll need a bunch on second down. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. Still looking. And the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line.
Well, that inside linebacker is a freak of nature for multiple reasons, and it's hard for a lot of these smaller running backs to have to pick him up in pass pro, not just because of his speed, but he's also big and strong.
Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. Third and long, backed up inside their 20. Makes the grab. He'll be stopped short, and they'll force a fourth down.
Listen, you hear all the time about how important it is to stay on schedule offensively, right? And this is a perfect example. You just can't have negative plays early in drives because even when you come up with big plays like we just saw, you're still miles away from picking up this first down. You're making it so hard on your offense.
Making his first move. He only needs a sliver of daylight. The coverage team was down there to corral him. They made the stop, and they'll mark it at the 39. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. Getting closer and closer to midfield, out of bounds. They'll mark it at the 47.
Now, you put those slot receivers in there, and here's why you do it. You back them off the football a lot of times, but who's guarding them? A lot of times, those are linebackers. Those are safeties. You get those good matchups where you can feature one of your speedsters, and a lot of times, good things happen.
Quick give. It's Valentine. Pulled down there, but they'll move the sticks, and it's a first down.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
Here comes the offense on 1st and 10 from the 47. Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. Defense right there to stop him in his tracks, and they get nothing on that play. We'll take a quick break here. 2 minutes to play in the first half.
Now, you want to be a great run defense, your DBs have to be great tacklers. And I love the way he comes up, sees the run. I know he makes the money in the back end covering passes, but when you got a guy that can fly up and make tackles, man, does your defense go to a different level.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Off the bootleg, looking to fire. Finds his big tight end. And you can see the offense just feeling itself. They've got it down to the 21. Illinois coming back to the line with a 1st and 10. On the move, it's Valentine. He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line, and a big red zone opportunity here. Got 6 on 1st down. Now a lot of options on 2nd and 4. From the red zone, it's Valentine. And he was greeted by a host of defenders and barely gets it back to the line of scrimmage. Boy, there wasn't much room to wiggle for that running back there.
None at all. Great job by the defense getting in the backfield quickly, closing up all the holes, nowhere to run.
Illinois now staring at a 3rd and short. Taylor wants to throw. And that is incomplete.
Once you start to get down here towards the goal line, it's so much more difficult to throw the football, and you really want to stretch the defense sideline to sideline and use your speed and take advantage of the grass when you see it. They try to take a little bit of a shot down the field unsuccessfully. Nice job by this defense.
No movement from the field goal unit. The offense is out there to try to keep this drive alive on 4th down. Snapped it, and he has to have it. He snares it in the end zone. Touchdown, Illini. They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. That touchdown drive covered 61 yards. And they finish it up with a 15-yard scoring toss. Bounces through the end zone. It's a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Fresh center downs going to the air. Right side, it's Payne. And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
Got 7 on that last completion. They might be able to take a shot on 2nd and 3. Snaps it in the shotgun. Looking down the middle. Fires into traffic. It's picked off. Couldn't find a ton of room on that return with that small change. They take over at the 43. They take over late in the half, enough time to put together a drive. Taylor wants to throw it. Moves to his right. Bought a little time, lets it go. Finds his tight end. Down he goes. Now the Illini calling a timeout there first. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. Just a quick rhythm throw there and really good use of the tight end.
Yeah, good use of the big fella. I mean, go through your progressions real quick. You can't find anything. Get the easy gain. Don't take a shot down the field all the time. Take those shots later, but take those easy, wide-open opportunities to get some positive chunks.
Back to throw, time running short in the half. He'll take a shot. Had it in his hands for the score and let it fall to the turf. It'll be 3rd down.
Man, you see, once you start to get to the red zone, the contested catch rate goes way through the roof. Who can make those plays when you're physically getting hit? Nice job by the defense, man. Make them earn it. Make them feel it. Get your hands through the contact of the football when they're trying to make the catch. Great job breaking on the football at the perfect time.
Looks as if Illinois will have enough for the 1st down. These 2 guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these 3rd down situations.
Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
Well, he didn't have a whole lot of time to get rid of that one. The defense was all over him right after the snap. No wonder that thing fell incomplete.
Long way to go on 2nd down. Wants to throw. He's working against the clock. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down.
And this offensive line's got to do a little better job, man. You've got to give your quarterback time to go through his progressions, from go to 1 to 2, and then maybe make a play. And he goes off of his first target, and you can tell he did not have much time getting hit as he's trying to throw the football. You've got to protect your quarterback.
Illinois needs a big play here on 3rd and long. Taylor wants to throw. Perfect timing on the hit to keep him from making the grab, and the defense forces a fourth down.
Well, this is a disappointing drive for the offense, considering where this drive started in their opponent territory. Now you're 4th and long. You've got to be better throwing the football in those types of situations.
No good. And the margin is still 7 after the miss, guys.
And sometimes I just feel like 4th down, man. Just go for it every time. Like the field goal miss-make rate. And listen, kickers have improved the last couple of years, but you left some points off the scoreboard there.
First snap of this drive will come from their own 32. Follows his blocks. It's Payne. He'll push his way forward for a few, and the clock will continue to run.
That's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down and the defense thinks you might be running the football, you still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. Back to throw, time running short in the half. Left side is Payne. Makes the grab, and it's enough for the first down before he's dragged to the ground. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays.
Well, it's a nice play design there. You're getting the running back involved in the pass game. Quarterback gives it to him early so he can go to work upfield and get the first down.
1 more play before the teams head to the locker rooms. One back in the backfield, and they'll give it to him. And the defense makes the tackle, and that ought to do it here in the first half. And we are headed to halftime. Both squads headed into the locker room to make some adjustments. Gives us an opportunity to check in with Kevin Connors in our EA Sports College Football Studio Update.
Gentlemen, so much excitement around a brand new season, and we're excited to get you caught up on everything here in Week 1. We begin with the Michigan State Spartans taking on the #1 team, the Auburn Tigers. And it's Michigan State coming away with a blowout victory in what looks like a major upset. Expect major changes in the polls this week, pushing them to 1-0 on the short season. Let's now check in on some top 25 battles today, as the landscape in this sport is truly ever-changing.
An unforced error there. They don't get the snap off in time. That is a completely avoidable penalty. The quarterback just went into brain lock and lost track of the play clock. They'll try it over the left side. Hit and stopped right there. Not much on that pickup.
Winning first down is such a big deal on defense. Like getting them into more predictable situations, more passing situations. Nice job not giving up a lot of run after contact on that first down.
To the air. It's John. They'll flip it out to the back on the screen. There he goes. He's across the 50 and out of bounds at the 49, and a great pickup on that one.
Defense has their hands full with this one. I know he's not the biggest guy playing the running back position right now, but they know he's going to be catching it too, and they're going to have to bring this guy down in space. In the passing game, they better make sure they get a lot of hats to the football. They've got their hands full.
Escapes the pressure going right. And they can't make the play on third down.
Really nice job by the defense, playing aggressive, understanding it could be a running situation, but still playing disciplined enough to play the pass and be successful on that 3rd and short.
The offense failed to convert on 4th down earlier, but that didn't change their thinking here. He will be stopped short of the line to gain, and they'll turn it over on downs.
You know, offensively in that situation, 4th down, you're throwing for it. Everything has to go right. right, or someone just needs to be able to make a play to keep the drive alive. They couldn't get it done, and now the offense is coming off the field.
The Illinois offense returns to the field. Straight ahead, it's Valentine. Driven back.
And if this defense wants to get back in the football game, they've got to match the physicality of this offense. And that's a great start here in the second half. Like coming out, not letting them run the football, being the more physical and more aggressive team.
The Illini just added to its workload after that last play. It's 2nd and long. Quarterback keeper. How about that defense getting back there? He'll lose a couple.
Third down coming up.
Now, they missed a field goal on the last drive, but you need to get points here, so they need to pick up some yardage to at least get in range for their kicker. He rifles one deep to the left. Almost intercepted, and what a momentum swing that could have been, but they still force a 4th down.
Well, the defense just did the quarterback a massive favor. That's the nicest thing they've done to him all game. They've already picked him off twice. That should have been number 3.
Punt is on its way. And there will be no return on this one, and he can't get it out of bounds. The ball will come out to the 20. The Horned Frogs offense takes the field, ready to get going. The handoff. Hit and dropped, and he got nothing on 1st down.
Well, this is a defense that we know takes tons of pride stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
3rd quarter here, 2nd and 10 as we are getting this season underway in the opening week. Right back to the well. Turning it on. They stay aggressive and push their way out to the 33, and it's 1st down.
Defense is going to have their hands full trying to get this guy in the ground, man. He's got some serious moves once he has the ball in his hands.
And this set of downs gets started from the 33, 1st and 10. Looking for room, it's Payne. Nowhere to go on that one. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
And a lot of times the fit up front, you know, linebackers are fitting holes and that ball bounces and it's supposed to go somewhere. And sometimes it goes to a DB and the offense will get a W. Like they'll get a win because you'll break a tackle. How about the tackle by that young fella? I know he likes to cover, but I love the way he comes up and makes the tackle.
Looking to throw, it's John. Whip it out to the back on the screen. At the 45 on his way. And he's out of bounds, but not before a good, sizable pickup, and that has been a rare sight in this one.
I love this running back and the job he does once he has the ball in his hands on this screen pass. He was real patient. You got to allow these 300-pound offensive linemen to sort of collect themselves and stammer down the field and try to block some of these linebackers and DBs, and that's exactly what the running back did. Great job with patience.
It's dropped after taking the hit.
Well, they're trying to get the big fella the football in the passing game, but they haven't been able to do that yet. He is a really nice target with his size and his athleticism, but him and the QB, they just don't seem to be on the same page right now.
Hits inside, it's Payne. Finds a crease at the 20. Here's a little room there. Give him 109 yards rushing, and with that run, he's now over 100 yards on this opening day.
What a big-time run for this offense. A physical run, getting down, almost scoring the touchdown.
Yeah, and considering how well they're running it right now, why wouldn't you just hand it off to this guy right here again?
The Horned Frogs are threatening on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He works works his way all the way down to the 3, and the defense is reeling. And the Horned Frogs moving quickly to the line. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Horned Frogs! Extra point here will tie the game. And the extra point was good. No incident there, and we are tied up in the 3rd. So it's an 80-yard drive and close the deal with a 3-yard touchdown run. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Taylor wants to throw it. Setting up the screen. And he got 5 yards on the play, 2nd and 5 coming.
Well, a nice gainer on that running back screen. How about the offensive line getting downfield and getting blocks to really help out the back, find some space to go to work?
Picked up 5 on that last pass play. Now it's 2nd and 5. On the run, it's Valentine. He'll move it up to the 37-yard line, and it'll be a 1st down.
And we talked about this guy coming into the game, man. He's a dude. Like, he's a guy that they're going to feature, they're going to give the football to. He's so good with the ball in his hand, so why would you not hand it to him as much as possible? They're doing it early, and he's getting some chunk yardage. This defense, they knew about him, but now they're finding out about him.
You want to make sure to maximize those types of runs, and he gets it out to the 41.
Man, it's nice when you can depend on your big boys up front to make a lane, and you get 5 or 6 yards. You get 5 or 6 yards a pop. You move the ball down the field easily, and more importantly, can get this defense to be more aggressive, to bring DBs close to the line of scrimmage, and then that might open up some big plays down the field.
And they didn't get it forward an inch. Defense wins the battle up front.
I'll tell you, this defensive end, not only can he pass rush, but he can play the run as well. You see him beat the offensive lineman there trying to block him and get in the backfield to make that tackle for loss. That was impressive.
Here they come, facing 3rd and long from the 40. And he throws another interception, his 3rd of the night. He's brought down. A short return, but the defense comes out on top with a pick.
QB's got to pick and choose their spots when they want to be really aggressive and try to fit balls in tight windows. Great job by the DB, making a big play, getting the ball back to its offense.
This time they stop him behind the line of scrimmage, and boy, that has been rare in this one.
That's how you come up and make plays as a defense, man. Playing physical, playing downhill. They've given up some plays today, man. He's got over 100 yards on the day. He's really had some success. But on that play, really downhill, really physical, and a nice job getting him to the ground.
After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. Right back to it. At the 40, there he goes. They bring him down. He's got a 1st down, but that might be the final play of the 3rd quarter. What a ride. It's been through the first 3 quarters of this game. We are all tied up. Let's check out some stats. These two teams about to find out what they're made of as we open the 4th all tied up. They go back to work with the 1st down in the final period of this one. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Payne. And he's knocked down. They'll mark it at the 15. It's a first down in the red zone.
And, man, this is more of the same for this dude toting the pill. Like, they keep giving it to him, and he keeps producing. Another
first down here as we dive into the college football season. A week 1 clash that has been worth every minute of it so far. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. Hand it to the back. He's stopped at the 14-yard line, and they'll stay on the attack from there.
The defense wins that one, and the offensive line was challenged by their coaching staff coming into this game to try and get push up front and establish the line of scrimmage. They're going to have to do a better job running than that if they're going to win this one.
They'll move the wide receiver. Sets his feet. It's John. That completion gets them inside the 10, and the defense is running out of room to defend. Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big third down in the red zone. From the gun, wants to pass. And they can't make the connection on third down.
Yeah, and third and short, they choose not to run, throw the football, and I think a lot of that has to do with they know they're in field goal range. They can take the 3 points on the board.
So here we are on fourth down, and this field goal kicker is going to face all the pressure in the world.
And I think I like the call, man. You got an opportunity to take the lead in the fourth quarter. Go for the kick. He executes it perfectly. Defense, now it's your turn. We got the lead. We got to get a stop.
So the Fighting Illini offense comes out ready to go to work. They're in a precarious spot here, that lofty perch in the rankings, hanging in the balance unless they can do something to save themselves here. Got some green grass. Breaks into the open. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a first down at the 43.
When the running back gets going and gets ahead of steam like that, so hard to get to the ground. That's why you blitz. That's why you bring pressure. That's why you bring more guys in the box so you can get him before he gets going. But once he got going, you could tell it was hard to get a hand on him, hard to get him to the ground.
Making a play like that to open the drive can really get the momentum going. First down from the 43. Finds his man on the RPO. Great job on the containment and the tackling. They stop him for no gain.
How nice is it in this offense to have your best receiver playing in the slot? You're matching him up against linebackers, against safeties, or nickel corners. Nickel corners are oftentimes the defense's third best cornerback. This guy is virtually uncoverable.
Sends him back in motion. From the gun, it's Valentine. Maybe a crease.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
A touch out of field goal range. They need to pick up yards quickly on third down. The offense coughs it up, and they were on the move. Ball bounced right to him, and he's on the move.
Woo. Deep breath, right? Man, you fumble that thing, you cough it up, you're like, oh, I really appreciate you, brother. I can't tell you how much I thank you because the coaches would have been all over me, but big-time break for the offense.
Illinois lining up to punt this one away. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. That thing was down for a while, but the big bounce carried it into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. TCU ready to crank things up on this drive. They take over holding this slim lead, and a drive right here sure would be nice. Stopped at the 25 after a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, and a nice job by this defense. This is a critical moment, right? We got to get the football back. They're backed up, thank goodness. Force a punt here, get the football back so we can make some magic here in this fourth quarter.
Let's see what they've got on second down. Handoff again. Knocked down in the backfield, and boy, this guy's had a good day, but they finally get to him on that run.
Big third down for this defense. Listen, you've got to get the ball back. You know what they're doing. They're trying to run the football, but we need the clock to be on our side so our offense has some time. Got to make a stand right here on third down.
Getting late, pressure building, huge third down coming up on the road for this offense. Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and the offense is looking for a play to close this deal out. This third down play might be the last chance for this defense to stay in the game. Dropping back, it's John. Caught. He's going to have enough to pick up the first down as they stop him at the 33-yard line.
And the offense here dialed up a really good zone beater. Give credit to the offensive coordinator. He called the right play at the right time.
The Horned Frogs come to the line with a fresh set of downs. The give and tick, 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 tick. Now the Illini calling a timeout there first. And they're really frustrated having to use that after giving up the first down.
First down, you know you always want to establish the running game. How about this offense? Nothing fancy. Run the football, be physical, get a big gain.
The offense setting up shop at the 46, 1st and 10. On the run, it's Payne. Dropped immediately. He got nothing on first down. Illinois uses its second timeout. They'll get together to decide how to play this second down.
At some point, enough is enough. This is the guy that's beating me. He's priority number one. We got to go get him. It's getting later in the second half. I got to go out and make some plays and get my offense the ball back.
Pulls it on the bootleg fake. Flush to the left. He's going to take off. Oh, he's got some space. He'll go out of bounds inside the 40. They'll mark it at the 39.
And, man, that puts this thing away. The QB comes up with another play. Plenty of plays to point to throughout this game, but this one right here ends it. Late in the game, they put it in his hands, and Palmer, he finds a way to get it done.
And you know his play caller was telling him in the headset before the snap, hey, if it's not open, take off and go get this W right now. You can do it with your legs. The defense decided to try to get after him with the pass rush, but they didn't keep him in the pocket, and he makes them pay for it. That's got to be demoralizing if you're the defense. You're trailing. You need to get the ball back. You got to get off the field, but you can't stop the run when they're going between the tackles. This defense is going to have to get a lot more physical, especially in the middle.
They're going to go right back to him on first down. There's got some room, headed to the goal line. Touchdown, TCU! And they take it in for 6 more points. Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And with the extra point, they're now up by a touchdown and a field goal at 10. So it's an 80-yard drive, and he capped it off with a 27-yard touchdown run. Deep in the end zone, it's Gibson. Slips through the line. He's on the loose. Can they catch him? He will score. Touchdown, Fighting Illini.
Well, the The good news is you scored a touchdown. You've made this a one-possession game. The bad news is you got to get the ball back. So if you're the head coach, you got to start thinking, how are we going to do that? Are we going onside kick, or do we trust our defense to give it back to the O?
They'll line up to go for two. Taylor wants to throw. Out wide left, it's Dixon. Does not get there. Boy, they stopped him just short of the goal line and kept him from getting to two. 25 ticks remaining. There's enough time if they can recover this onside kick. The hands team able to secure that football, and with that, should have secured a victory.
Well, here in the fourth quarter, they were obviously expecting onside kick. They got their hands team on the field. They're able to jump on the ball and make sure they get possession.
Running out the clock, a mere formality between them and a victory as we have victory formation coming.